You just started playing the colony survival game Aska, and now you're looking for some tips to help you get going. I think I can help. So let's get started in Aska. Funding for this video is provided by viewers like you. This is my updated guide to the start of Aska. You can find a link to my original guide at the top of the screen and in the description of this video. Remember, these tips are from my experience, and this is not the end-all list. I want to help because I want you to love this game as much as I do. So here are my tips, in no particular order. Aska has a lot to offer, but I would argue the coolest thing about this game is the search area function. I've dubbed this Viking radar. When you press the Z key, the ground will light up in a golden color and show items of interest. This makes it easy to navigate the world and collect up materials. I can't state enough how much I love this function. I find myself pressing the Z key in other games, wishing it was included. Hey, game devs of the world, let me scan for resources everywhere, in every game. The start of the game finds you on the beach. There are a ton of resources here, most notably many small rocks. Pick a direction and run the beach, picking up all the rocks you see. You should also find thatch, sticks, and some food in the form of mussels. Once you have a stack or two of rocks, then it's time to run inland. Wait, before you leave the beach, you'll encounter these dudes. Don't run, fight. They can be easily taken out with your fist. Don't underestimate your bare knuckles. These are powerful weapons you'll always have on you. Also, these wisps give you much needed fiber. I would argue fighting these early on is a triple win. Hand combat XP, fibers, and fun. Aska is no different from many games you've played when it comes to progression. Everything you do equals experience. I love this system, especially in this game. Pick up a stick, gain gathering experience. Run around cutting down trees, mining rocks, and gathering flax. Yep, more experience. Craft stone blades, level up. Nothing you do in this game is a waste of time. The more you do something, the better you are at it. Cutting down a lot of trees equals faster tree cutting drax. This system makes my gamer brain very happy. Food and water are important for a couple of reasons. It's a survival game, so you have to eat and drink to stay alive. There are added bonuses to food, water, and rest. On your HUD, you can see the 2 indicators for food and water. Keeping these full will give you a boost, allowing you to run, gather, and chop for longer periods of time. Keeping these stats full makes a big difference in the game. The sources for food and water vary in the game. At the start, you'll find water throughout the map in these small rock ponds. They refill over time, and later you'll use them to build wells. You have a water pouch that was given to you at the start. Keep it full. Trust me, water can sometimes be hard to find, especially when you're thirsty. Early game food consists of mussels from the beach, berries from the bushes, and a variety of vegetables found throughout the map. Nothing like keeping your belly full of onions and garlic. Yum! Note, some of these foods have special bonuses, like healing. These can come in handy when you're hurt. The food progression in Aska is great. I've made another video covering food tips. The link is in the description. You have some materials, and now it's time to settle and start building. My advice is to not worry about finding the perfect start location. As you play the game, you'll figure out what location best fits your playstyle. I have lots of advice when it comes to where you should build. I think my only hard fast rule is that water should be close. Water is so important, and having good access to multiple sources will help your colony grow in the long run. This next step, it's not needed, but I think it's important to know and use. You can level the ground with a hoe. Using the level tool in the build menu, you can lay out an area and make a nice, flat place to start building. And it doesn't need to be perfect. I had no idea you could do this my first playthrough. I think it makes navigating your colony easier and it looks nicer. But, as I said, you can build without the level and go all natural. You found your perfect spot. Now, let's build a fire. The fire pit is a good lesson on how many of the buildings work in the game. Place the fire pit, add the resources, and build. After you've built it, you'll be able to upgrade it and then upgrade again. The simple fire goes from a pit to a cooking fire. Almost all buildings in Aska have progression. I enjoy this game mechanic, and I encourage you to explore all the buildings you unlock to see their individual progressions and additions. Building a shelter is more for your first villager than for you, as you don't require sleep. But you can get a boost from sleep. Build your first shelter and then lie down. You'll see a small status circle filling up. Once complete, you will get a boost to your overall stamina. I highly recommend doing this as often as you can. This is a really good boost. And it gets even better later in the game when you build the chieftain hut. Sleep equals OP. My other start note on building in Aska is to use the pin system. Lots of games give you the option to pin a recipe you're working on. I think it's incredibly helpful in Aska, especially when you get your first group of builders. Being able to see what you need to gather to complete the build is great. Using it to keep an eye on a build the villagers are building is even better. The Jotun stones, or blue stones as I call them, are found throughout the map. You grabbed a few from the beach at the start, and you'll continue to mine them throughout the game. You will use these to summon villagers to help you build your colony. There are two types of nodes, big and small. The small are for early game tools and give you not just blue stones, but also regular stones. My tip here is simple. Always be mining blue stones. Just like with the fire pit upgrades, the building system works on upgrades and unlocks. Most buildings have a starter building that can be upgraded. These unlocks also lead to things like a sled and a cart. My first time playing the game, I waited way too long to build these helpful tools. Yes, the sled can be kind of wonky to navigate, but the storage capacity and time saved using it is wonderful. As I mentioned, later on you'll unlock the cart. It has greater capacity and speed and makes harvesting trees and rocks a lot more manageable. The inventory in Aska is not my favorite. It's missing some quality of life, namely a sort button. Your bags are split into 3 sections, small items on top, medium items in the middle, and one large item on the bottom. You can drop items by pressing X while hovering, split items by holding control, and just like most survival games, there's never enough bag space. I understand why it's set up this way, I just want more. Your toolbar can also be customized from here. You can drag items from your inventory to the bar, right-click to remove them, and rearrange them as you see fit. When starting out, you'll see helpful key bindings on the screen. I like this in the game, and it's a big help at the start. I wish more games would give HUD-based keybind clues when starting. It's nice to not have to go into the settings to figure out what key does what. However, as you play more, you might not need the reminder on the screen. You can turn them off right here in the settings menu. What a great feature. My final tip for you is this: don't be afraid to fail. Aska is a game of trial and error. You will die, the colony could fail, but it's not the end of the world. I've restarted many times. Each time I'm wiser and my start is smoother and more enjoyable. I love this about these kind of games. Before you know it, you'll have a bustling village full of needy villagers. Those are just a few of my beginner tips. Make sure to check out my other Aska guides in the description of this video. Do you have a tip for me? I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Share your Aska stories with me. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. The video's over. Now it's time for you to do your part. Follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.